All right, today we're going to make a custom room like this in about 2 minutes, so let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is go up to Room and click New Room, and then we're going to click on Custom Room, and we're going to add a floor plan and upload a PNG or a JPEG image. Now we're going to draw a line against the back wall to scale the image, so we're going to go from left to right all the way to the end, and then we're going to type in the real distance of that wall that we know. In this case, it's 126 feet. Now we can start drawing the walls. And then we can come out and back in for different segments of the wall. Okay, so now we can adjust the height of the room. I'm going to set it to 19.5 feet here. I'm going to go to Windows and add some windows along this back wall here. If I drag the window in, it will automatically attach to the wall. I'm going to go to my front view so that I can see the window. And from here, I'm going to scale it up using the scale tool. If I zoom in on the window, I'll be able to see it a little closer, and I can scale it to be the right size. And then I'm going to move it so that it's just in that spot where the windows are. Now I need to make more windows, so I'm going to duplicate them. Copy, move the next one over. I'm going to go to my top camera view, and I'm going to adjust the color by selecting them all and holding Shift, and then clicking this color bar and making them black. Now I want to add an outdoor scene outside of the windows. So to do that, for this, I'm going to upload an image of an outdoor scene that I want to use, and I'm just going to click on the image so that it shows up in the middle of my scene. I'm going to drag it over to the windows here, and then I'm going to scale it to the size of the windows. But now I want to add some pillars to cover up where these walls are. So I'm going to go to the decor section. I'm going to drag in a pillar and add them to where these walls are. Then I'm going to scale them up. And now I'm just going to duplicate them and add them where the other ones should be. Okay, there's a couple more things I can do. One is I can adjust the brightness of the scene outside, and I can also adjust the scale of it so that it scales correctly. Next, I'm going to add some drapery in these areas, and the best place to do that might just be in our scenery section to find some similar drape that we can add to the sides. So I'm just going to drag in something that looks decent and has a little bit of transparency to it. I'm going to rescale this and adjust the color and the transparency. And I'm going to change the ceiling a bit. I'm going to try some different ceilings here. And we'll say this is the one I'm going for. So I'm going to take away the crown molding, and I'm going to do baseboards instead. And I'm going to adjust some of the walls to be a different texture. So the texture I want is going to be white and then wood for some of the walls. So I'm going to deselect all walls, and then I'm just going to select one of the walls that I want to be textured. I'm going to do the same thing over here and just texture this wall. Now I'm going to go to my plan view and add a couple doors. So I'm just going to do some wooden doors along where the doors are. All right, so from here I can adjust just the room intensity of the light to make it brighter or darker. I can even just select the image for our outside scene and increase the intensity or decrease the intensity of the light outside just with this. So now we have a basic cube object, and all we need to do from here is we can adjust the color to something like light blue, and then adjust the intensity here to create that look like it's just an outdoor scene like this. And we can continue editing further if we want to adjust things like the floor. We can adjust the scale of the floor, the texture, as well as the gloss, so we can make the floor glossy. And lastly, if we want to, we can add more decor options to the room. So we could add sconces. We can add chandeliers, show ceiling, show chandelier, and then we'll just drag in the chandeliers wherever we want them. And the last thing to note is that if you're in the edit room option, doors and other objects can only be selected if the edit room function is on.